across New Zealand. And at every railroad station, huge throngs wave to the young monarch and her husband, the Duke of Edinburgh. After trips through several New Zealand cities, the train brings the royal couple to Wellington, the capital, where Elizabeth formally opens the Dominion's Parliament. The smiling young queen receives the cheers of thousands. Cheers for Her Majesty in an outpost of her empire. RENE COTY is inaugurated as the President of France. In the majestic Ambassador's Hall of Élysée Palace, he receives the Grand Cross of the Legion of Honor, a heavy golden chain, and at this moment becomes the President of the Republic. The broad avenues of Paris echo to cavalry hoofbeats as President Coty and outgoing President Vincent Auriol ride in the inaugural parade. France demonstrates her loyalty to a new president taking office in critical times. The first stagecoach in many a year pulls into Times Square, heralding the huge premiere of The Command, the first Western film Hollywood has produced in CINEMASCOPE. A pretty cargo of celebrities in frontier garb joins thousands of New Yorkers seeing the film Warner Brothers has chosen for its initial CINEMASCOPE Warner Color production. It's a sweeping outdoor spectacle about the Old West, The Command. Avalanches, the ancient enemy of mountain people, thunder white death into the valleys of the Alps. Quickly, rescue teams are organized to rush help to the snow-stricken areas. United States Army officers order American helicopters into action to hurdle the vast desert of snow. Other volunteers set out on skis in a race against death. Thousands of homes in Austria, West Germany, Italy, and Switzerland are crushed under tons and tons of snow, ice, and boulders. The helicopters direct the rescue workers on their mission of mercy. Austria is hardest hit by the avalanches, which rumbled down the mountainsides after gales had whipped top-heavy snow masses off the towering peaks. A trumpeter is poised to sound the alarm to rescue workers should the ominous roar of another avalanche echo through his valley. Veteran mountain dogs aid in tracking down victims entombed in the choking blanket of white powder snow. Freed from certain death, a victim is rushed to a hospital. The snowslide struck with incredible force, burying villages under a 15-foot blanket and crushing buildings like matchwood. A railroad coach was hurled 600 feet by the 80-mile-an-hour impact of the dreaded White Death. 10 people were killed in this village alone. The injured must be cared for first. Another tragedy for eyes which have seen many and those which have seen few. A sad, solemn procession winds out of each village, escorting the dead on a last journey over the snow. They are for whom the bell tolls. The mountain people bury their dead, huddling fearfully against the snow that still falls on the Alps. More than 100 ski devils answer the challenge of man against mountain in the NORGE Ski Club's 48th annual meet at Fox River Grove, Illinois. From top to bottom, a treacherous descent with skis and skill, the only insurance against a broken neck. The jumpers knife through the bitter near-zero cold, straining for distance, fighting for form. And here comes the winner, veteran Art TOKLE, soaring 191 feet to victory in the NORGE Ski Club Championships. And now to indoor sports and the Swedish national gymnastic team in America for a cross-country tour. The perfectly coordinated athletes put on an amazing precision performance.
horizontal bar, more gymnastic wizardry. Olympic champion William Torreson in a one-man show of strength and training. An old and difficult sport looks easy when done by graceful masters. The somersaulting Swedes, gymnastic gym dandies. The 4th annual Pro Bowl game finds the favored Western 11 and their star quarterback, Bobby Lane of Detroit, being smothered by the Eastern Stars. Deep in his own territory, Lane decides to try another pass, but Chuck Bednarik, Philadelphia's bruising linebacker, intercepts and charges 24 yards for a touchdown to put the East ahead 13-2. Fighting desperately to get back into the game, the West has San Francisco's Y.A. Tittle go to the air and hit John Huffman of the Bears, who's wrestled to the ground after a 12-yard gain. Tittle hands off to Joe Perry, and the 49ers ace romps around end for 15 yards and a TD. Ahead by only 4 points in the last quarter, the East sends Otto Graham back to pass, and he hits Ray Renfro, a Cleveland teammate, for a first down on the West's 25. Moments later, Graham hands off to Renfro, and the Browns' speed boy scampers toward the final score as the East upsets the West 20-9.